Hey there, it's Ashley from the Loopy Lamb, and today we're going to be learning how to do the Picot Single crochet stitch and the Granule Stitch. For today's tutorial, I am using some Swish worsted weight yarn from We Crochet or crochet.com in the color Wonderland Heather, and my favorite 5mm crochet hook from Furls Crochet. So you can use this with any yarn and hook combination, but that's what I'm using for today. And if you'd like to check them out, I'll include the links in the description box below. So we are going to need to start with a slip knot, and we'll place that on our hook here. And to crochet the Picot Single crochet stitch, we are going to need to do a multiple of 2 plus 1 plus 1 for the turning chain. So we'll start with doing a chain of 16. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now 16 is our multiple of 2. Then we're going to do our plus 1 plus another 1. So that's a total of 18 chains. So to do the starting row of the Picot Single crochet and also the Granule Stitch is we're going to work into this second chain from the hook and place a single crochet. So to do that, we'll put our hook through the chain, yarn over hook, pull through the chain, got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over hook, and pull through both loops. That's your first single crochet stitch completed. And we're going to do that in every chain that we created. So into the next chain with our hook, yarn over, pull through the chain, 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, and pull through both loops. And again, into the hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and through both loops. Okay, and if you want, just continue doing that until the end of the chain. Should have 17 single crochet stitches when you are finished. Okay, and I'm just doing my last single crochet of the first row, and now I've got my 17 single crochets, and we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Now the Picot single crochets need to be worked from the wrong side of the fabric because the picots pop out and create kind of a little tiny bobble on the right side of your fabric. So in order for that bobble to show up on the right side, you need to be working with the wrong side facing you. So this is our wrong side of our fabric, and we're going to single crochet into the first stitch here. So into the stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both loops, first single crochet completed. Now we're going to do our first Picot Single crochet. So it's a very slight variation in the single crochet, but again makes that really fun little bobble. So into this stitch, yarn over, pull through our stitch. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. Now this is where our change comes in. We're going to yarn over hook and pull through only one of those 2 loops to create a chain. So that's a chain 1. And we're going to yarn over and pull through the first loop again. That's a chain 2. And we're going to yarn over and pull through the first loop again and create a chain 3. So the picot is a chain 3, and then we're going to yarn over hook and pull through the remaining 2 loops. That's your picot single crochet. Now it doesn't look like much yet. You see our chain here, it's just kind of hanging out. What really cinches the deal or anchors your stitch is we're going to place a single crochet in the next stitch. And that pulls your picot down and creates this little bobble here, which is a little hard to see. So we'll do that again. And across the row, you're going to do a picot single crochet followed by a single crochet. So in the next stitch, we'll do our picot single crochet into the stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch. We've got 2 loops. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through 1 loop. There's your chain 1. Yarn over, pull through 1 loop, chain 2, yarn over and pull through that last chain, or that loop again, and we've got our chain 3. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops on our hook, and that's your picot single crochet finished. And then you will single crochet into the next stitch. Okay, and we'll do that again. So into the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pulling through only 1 loop, that's your chain 1, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, that's your chain 2, yarn over, pull through the chain 3, the first loop, and that's your chain 3, and yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops to finish your stitch. And then again, we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, and we'll repeat that pattern until 1 stitch is left unworked. Okay, so we'll do another picot, chain 1, 2, 3, and close, single crochet. Into the next stitch, chain 1, 2, 3, and close, single crochet. Into this stitch, chain 1, 2, 3, and close, and single crochet in the next stitch. One, 2, 3, close, single, chain 1, 2, 3, and close. And so we've got 1 stitch remaining, and what we'll do is we're just going to place a single crochet stitch in that last stitch, and then we'll chain 1 and turn our work. So you can see that those picot stitches are popping off our fabric nicely, creating those little bobbles or granules, if you will. And what makes the granule stitch is the picot single crochet rows that we just completed, alternating with the single crochet row. So, and that's what we'll do next here for row 3, is we're just going to single crochet in the first stitch here and each stitch around, or stitch across. Now, when you're working with the picots facing you, it can be a little tricky to see where those stitches are. So just kind of use your thumb to pull them down, and you can see that those V's are much more visible now with that pulled out of the way. I'm just going to go into the stitch, single crochet, and then you can just let that bobble come back up. And we're just going to work that across. And again, we're placing a single crochet into each stitch across for row 3. So for Granule Stitch, you can work the following row of picot stitches 2 different ways. And I'm going to explain the 2 different ways that you can do that. And then I'll demonstrate one of them here for us. So I'm at the end of my row. I've done my 17 single crochets, and I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. So once again, we've got the wrong side of the fabric facing us, so our picots show on the right side of the fabric. So traditionally in Granule Stitch, you can, your bobbles or your picots are kind of offset from one another. The other way you can have your picots done is you can have them line up in a linear fashion. That's my personal preference, is the have them line up. But again, you can have it where they're offset from each other. So to show you how to do the linear picots, we're just going to repeat what we did for row 2. And to do that, again, we're going to single crochet in the first stitch, and then picot single crochet in the next. So that, once again, there's our chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, and close, and single in the next stitch. And we'll do the single crochet followed by a picot single crochet until the end of the row, placing a single crochet in that last stitch of the row. You may have noticed that when I'm doing my picot single crochets, after I do my chain 1, I hold the base of the chain 1. It just kind of gives me a little bit more stability and control over creating my chain. That way they don't get tighter as I'm working up the chain. So if you're finding that you're struggling to do your chain 3s, don't hesitate to grab that chain 3 and hold on to it while you're working your chain 3. Okay, and there's a single crochet in the last stitch. So at the end of that row, I would chain 1 and turn my work. And you can see that the picots line up nicely here. So if we wanted to do the method where the picots don't line up in a linear fashion, I'll show you that next. So we're on our row of single crochets. So we single crochet into the first stitch and each stitch across. Again, if you're struggling to see that stitch, don't hesitate to pull the picot out of the way so you can see that stitch. You don't want to force it through the picot because you'll lose that nice little bobble there. Okay, and we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. So to do the offset bobbles, we'll single crochet in the first 2 stitches, and then we'll place a picot single crochet in the next. And then we'll single crochet in the next stitch. And then we're just going to repeat that pattern again of the picot single crochet, followed by a single crochet. And we'll single crochet, picot, and then single crochet in the last 2 stitches. Then we'll chain 1, turn our work, and then we're going to single crochet in each stitch across. Okay, and then we would chain 1, turn our work, and we'd repeat the first row of our linear picots. So we'd single crochet and then picot single crochet. And then followed by another single crochet. And so we'd repeat that pattern of picot single crochet and single crochet until the end of the row. And single crochet in the last stitch of the round, chain 1 and turn your work. And so you can see here, let's make those point out a bit, where we have the picots that have lined up here and these ones here that are offset. So if you wanted to continue with the offset rows, you would repeat rows 1, or technically 2 through 4. So you'd start with a single crochet, the row we started with 2 single crochets and then the picots, a single crochet row, and then followed by our the row we just completed. And you repeat those rows until you've reached your desired height. And if you were just going to do the linear rows, you would just repeat it's a 2-row repeat until you reach your desired length. So 1 row of single crochet and 1 row of your single crochet picots, alternating stitches. And that's it. It's super simple, and I really actually enjoy doing this stitch. And if you want to practice doing this stitch, I do have a free crochet pattern for an ear warmer and cowl set that uses this technique. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Happy hooking, and I'll see you next time.